called in the strike force. That's a pretty good screen. Killed another one. And another one. Now I'm just kind of using the convoys as bait. We're still 25, 26, 27, 30 short. But we will get there eventually. Probably. That's true. How are we doing with these? You are ready for the reserves. You three are ready for the reserves. A bunch of my submarines almost died. Please tell me you're in the western approaches. You are. Did we just increase the number we were buying? Don't do that. Decrease them. And we've almost got a surplus again. And we are hunting them. Caught them. Nah, they're running. What colour did I have these guys as before? Just make them really bright yellow. That works. How have I got two heavy cruisers sailing around again? Shouldn't do. Down there. They continue to try and push across here, but thankfully India is holding them off. America is basically withdrawn at this point.
Orders.
How close are we getting? 136. We're getting closer. Oh, another two sunk. Yes! And another two sunk! And another one. They still have 13 of them, though. What? Ah! Bloody submarines! But this is good. This is what England's supposed to be about, is hunting bloody submarines. It's a little disappointing it's taken them until 1944 to do, though. Hey, friend chief. Haven't seen you around for a while. Did I enforce democracy on the barrage? No? Naval combat's become more stressing, that's for sure. Yeah, which it's supposed to be. I mean... sank another 4. Yes! It was definitely a big issue for Britain for much of the early to mid-war. A little less so later on. And it's definitely made destroyers a hell of a lot more important. Which is good, because in prior versions of this, they were kind of rubbish. The Netherlands... 1944, the Netherlands moves its government to Batavia. Really? That's a little bit late. With the loss of the continental European territories, the Dutch government has now decided to relocate the city of Batavia in the Indonesian island of Java. The colonial government there is to be supplanted, with the Dutch government managing it directly instead. From this colonial base, they have vowed to continue the war against their aggressors. Feeling it's 1944 and the war is going great. Yeah. Although Germany is now starting to rack up its losses. The Soviets are finally starting to fight back a bit. Took you long enough, Stalin. You still have a fair old bit of manpower to go, thankfully. This is just going to cost 50, right? Yes. In which case I feel like I can spend some political power. I'm not going to bother with resistance. I don't think it's been very useful. I don't think I need to do any of those, really. War propaganda would get war support up. That's not a huge issue. War bonds would get me more consumer goods factories, which I don't think is a huge issue right now. McDonald's proposal could bring Ireland in. Although it does lose me a bunch of stability. Oh, that's proposing we trade Northern Ireland in exchange for the whole of Ireland joining. Northern Ireland is my naval training base, so I'm going to keep it. The other option is the region-wide industrial integration. No, we're going to save political power because we are going to need it later. Because remember, it took us 300 to get Malaysia. It's going to be the same for India, I think. If not more. Japanese convoys dying. And Japanese submarines dying. Lots of them.
Orders!
That's a lot of submarines being built. Which is good, because we're going to need like 43 of them to replenish the subs that I've lost. Still losing a couple of convoys. Convoy usage has gone up again because of purchases. Ah, but we probably don't need as much fuel anymore. No, we need a fraction of what we're importing. Get rid of another 4 or so, I think. Yeah, that's roughly where it needs to be. 3 dockyards, that must mean a Frogger pirate. No. Oh, I was getting hopeful that my carrier had finished, but it's not. What was it that just finished? Must have been an old Frogger pirate, though. I can't imagine that took that long. Oh, unless it was a Jack the Ripper. It was a Jack the Ripper. Continue building those. We still need them for the recon fleets. So that's a point. How much? You're still available. And we have 2 here. We don't need any more Jack the Rippers, actually. Cancel you. Let's get another Frogger pirate instead. Because those we need a lot of. And the thing is, once we've built all of these Frogger pirates, we're going to need some more for the Pacific. Actually, the other thing we could have done with is just more convoys. How about aircraft? How are they doing? Oh, we have loads of strategic bombers. You know what that means? Bomb more of the continent. I absolutely love the new naval system. It's supremely fun for now. Yeah, I agree. I really like the changes. It's innovative. The way that they've used the different task forces within a fleet with the different orders and how the orders interact with each other is really cool. Did I know the Taiwanese Navy still operates a Tench-class World War II submarine? Really? Issue I have with the DLC is the Dutch mechanics, as Germany have tried to have them cave to me, but I was doing the decision that cost power. Had 200 more than the UK, never attacked them or anything, just to force their way through France, yet they still never caved. And just joined the bloody Allies as soon as Japan attacked them. Yeah, I was basically doing the same, and they never did the focus either to cave to Britain. And then also, like you just saw there, not moving their government to Batavia, like there's no reason not to. Alright, now we're starting to get some more destroyers in. We're up to 58. Including one extremely competent one. Ooh, new destroyer hull. And points to play with it. Although I'm still waiting... yeah, that's still the advanced anti-submarine mortar. 44 days, then we'll build a new one. Maybe better subs? Could do with fire control, although we'd need to be up here for the destroyers to get better. Mines don't seem to have been an issue. I think I kind of want to go with more carriers, especially if I'm going to be expanding into the Pacific. No, you know what we need? 44 spitefuls. Because the Battle of Britain is still going on. Killed another sub, they're down to 7. That's a lot better. And I should point out that I did buff Japan, Germany, and Italy. I did not buff anyone else. That's part of the reason they're hitting so hard. Ooh. South Africa. What did you do? Looks like South Africa tried to bring in their ancient navy and died. Troops are you saying you need nowadays? You only need 21. You have more than enough, so I'm just going to kind of entrust things to your care, Mr. Alexander.
Under fire!
Also, we still don't have enough. Convoys, spare. We need more. And there we go. Fleet and being is entirely done now. Kind of wishing I'd gone for base strike now that I'm going for more carriers, but how could I have known that early on? And let's go for more mechanized. I'm going to start switching my armies to mechanized, I think. We have an air wing not doing anything? Who? Fighters from where? Oh, from out here. And you guys have apparently been fighting really heavily. Never even noticed. You're still covering the Java Sea just about. Okay. Ah! And we've almost retaken this. And you know what that means? We're going to implement a massive frickin' radar in northern Borneo as a matter of priority. Also, Singapore. Am I building one here? I'm not. I should be. Definitely good idea to integrate Malaysia. I am very pleased I did that. Should have done it way sooner. Another 3 subs killed. Okay, so now we're getting decent at killing subs. Radar with freaking lasers. Having lots of fun with submarine-only Germany. I gave Karl Dönitz Lancer the 25% torpedo screen penetration. Had lots of fun. I did the same with the Dutch. The Dutch have a submarine commander who's actually better than Dönitz. And he was kind of ridiculous. He brought America down to 11 convoys. Basically single-handed. Well, him and his 50 submarines. Yeah, the Dutch submarines, very, very nice. Much better than their surface fleet was. And the Dutch have so many stacking dockyard modifiers that you can get a dockyard efficiency of like 110% or something crazy. Yeah, it's definitely higher than the UK can get. I do feel like I need another set of... Whoops, no, don't do that. Convoy production though, because I am still sitting very, very low. So any dockyards that we do build, and we're building a lot, are going to be for that. More submarines dead. Okay, we're on top of this now. Oh, good grief, Germany nearly did it. They nearly brought me to my knees there. Almost ran out of fuel. Actually, speaking of fuel... could do with importing like a tiny bit more. Two more. 2. Does Germany still have a lot of manpower? Yes, unfortunately. The Soviets have actually done kind of a poor job against them. I mean, I hate saying that considering how many men the Soviets lost in the process. The Soviets have lost 13.5 million and killed 2.6 Germans. 2.6 million Germans. And 1.7 million Italians. But it does mean that even if Germany does take the Soviet Union, there's going to be no manpower there for them. Germany is on service by requirement. I still have 900,000. I'm still on extensive. I have loads of manpower still to go. Have I used the nation building decisions on any of my puppet? No. Because I don't really see the point. If it like gave them more construction slots or something, then sure, but it doesn't. Killed another sub. So how am I tank production? I could really do with comets. I could also probably do with upgrading the Valentines. You know what, let's do that. I have loads of army experience right now for some strange reason. So let's go and upgrade the Valentine. As soon as I remember how the hell you do it. It's in here. Definitely want to buff up their armor. And their reliability to counter the armor. And I guess the main gun to give them more damage. The aircraft production, no doubt. And we are now getting too much steel. That's a good problem to have. Am I being intercepted by the Japanese? Probably. I'm trying to give the Dutch a lot of factories so they can build this area up. Yeah, they are still building. Because the Dutch are actually doing a pretty good job keeping the Japanese out of the islands. There's been an ongoing battle. I wouldn't actually be surprised if the Dutch have killed more Japanese than we have. No. I've killed the most, then the US, then the Raj. Oh, Netherlands, 5th. And that's only going to increase. And they keep on trying to attack over here, but not getting anywhere. Right, let's go and manage you. Turn you into a puppet. And now we have to wait for it again. Integrated puppet. So there's 2 more steps. I'm using light tanks because I have loads of motorized. Like all of my forces here are motorized. And the best way to give motorized armor support is light tanks. So actually I could do with changing that template slightly. Now I have more motorized. Do it. And now I need to build more motorized. How are we doing for surpluses of everything else? We've actually got millions of light tanks. Oh, and I can use them to convert, which means I'll be able to upgrade those really quickly. Also, I've got loads of guns. So let's go and... Oh, I can't convert. Right, converting from stockpile is for SPGs and stuff like that. Let's tone down the amount of guns I'm making quite significantly, and let's tone up the number of motorized I'm making fairly significantly. And support equipment, as always. Let's go up to 4. Deficit of fighters is going down, that's good. Why motorized? Because I got them super early and they're quick. And I was going to use them in France to try and outmaneuver the Germans, and that went horribly wrong, so then I've just put them in Russia. And they've actually been performing really well. Like, my infantry in the north have been kind of getting obliterated, while the motorized down here have actually been holding steady, especially considering this is the flats. It means that even if the Germans do manage to push through, they can't really do much with it.
Yes, sir.
And I actually personally rate motorized quite heavily. I like the speed. Wrong button. Do that. You and you. Force march over there.
Ready to move.
I like that you get motorized artillery now. Yeah, that's something I haven't actually invested. Like, how do you do that? Oh, it's just motorized artillery. Huh. Because, yeah, that would give my motorized units quite a lot more oomph. Cost 36 artillery and 50 motorized. That's not actually too bad. Do they still take 3 combat width? They do. How fast are they? No difference in speed. Are the motorized doing well because of the light tanks? Quite possibly, because I do have a lot of light tanks down there. So the light tanks chew up infantry, because the infantry can't penetrate. They only struggle a bit against heavier tanks. And they give them armor, which means that they're far more resistant to enemy attacks. Not as much as medium or definitely heavy tanks would. Heavy tanks basically means they're immovable. Impenetrable, that's probably a better word. Immovable means they can't ever move. And heavy tanks move roughly the same speed as infantry. If I had more bloody convoys, I would send you some more reinforcements. The problem is I can't transport them right now. I'm still having transport issues. I do, however, have about 1 billion... I have my new carrier, the Ark Royal. Oh. I was actually seconded to the Ark Royal when I was a Navy cadet. So we have the King Arthur class new carrier. Hell yes. And also about 1 billion submarines. And I definitely want my carrier being trained, so you can sit here and train. And we got the improved depth charge mortar. Okay, so we are going to upgrade our destroyers. No, that's going to be radar, because I do still use you as my surface detection. And also sonar. I'm not going to give you fire control though. AA. I'm going to keep you with light batteries. I'm not expecting you to engage other targets very much. I think I might leave you with this. I don't see the need to give you torpedoes. Torpedoes are mostly an anti-capital ship attack, right? Depth charges the anti-sub. Sub detections at 19. How much would sonar increase that? Actually, it would decrease it. Really? The sonar does help. And we move at 42 kilometers per hour. That's very quick. Also remarkably cheap. In terms of production costs. In terms of raw materials used, you're bloody expensive. Tier 4 destroyers are really expensive. But I'm okay with that production cost. Torps work well against everything except for subs, yeah, and this is almost entirely submarine hunting. Alright, so I need a new name for these destroyers. They make me happy, therefore they are the happy face. Alright, Tier 4 destroyers. Glorious. Let's get those into production. So we're going to build one more of each Frogger, just because the production's already started. Imaginary exponents can continue, and then we're going to switch to the happy faces. Are they actually cheaper? They're only slightly more expensive than the Frogger Pirate 2s, and they are significantly faster, which means they can cover more ocean and find subs better by just being everywhere at once.